Good morning, Cubs fans. Danny Rocket here in Rose Hill Cemetery. I couldn't find my microphone this morning, so hopefully there's not crazy wind blowing into the speaker right now. Cubs, they lost 2 of 3. It was bound to happen. You knew we weren't just going to win the next, 120 in a row. You knew it wasn't coming. But it just sucks to lose to a crappy team, and they're not terrible. There's no team in baseball that's absolutely terrible that can't beat even the best team in baseball. That's how baseball works. But, the Rangers, man, you're flying high, and I hate the Rangers. I hate the Rangers. I hate the Braves. We're playing teams that I actually dislike. I don't like their fan base. I think they're a bunch of clowns. My uncle was a Rangers fan. He was really one of the only family members that I didn't even like, and that's saying a lot because I got a pretty large family. You only need to have one guy that you're like, fuck this guy, and his son. I'm like, fuck that guy. Both Rangers fans. So yeah, I got bad blood. The Braves fans will not give up the chop, even though they've been told by players to cut it out. Ryan Helsley comes to mind, and they won't give it up. They're like, no, it's our thing. We like pretending we're Native Americans, and it makes us feel, tough, better than them. What is it? I mean, it is fun to go, whoa. But you can do that with, Seven Nation Army or something like that. That's fine. Do that instead. It's the same thing. It's just not racist. Anyway. I hate this road trip. I don't have a good feeling about this series against the Braves because now the bloom is off the rose. And the thing that sucks is it's not like you even put up a fight. The offense just died. Like they were just gone. Completely bereft of talent. All of a sudden they're just up there. And now you face DeGrom. I get it. Jacob DeGrom, when he is not hurt. And this is saying, that's everybody, right? Jacob DeGrom is one of the best pitchers that's ever played the game. He's got stuff for freaking days, and he showed it yesterday. He's back. He's the best thing the Rangers have, and they're not going to be good, so they should trade him right now. I don't know, maybe to the Cubs. Jacob DeGrom would look pretty good in the Cubs uniform, don't you think? Get him over here. I don't care what he costs. And that's pretty much what I came on here to talk about because, we got Colin Ray opening up against the Braves. And we're still down some pitchers. We don't know what's going to happen with Steele. There's been the setback. I don't think there's been any news since that. And Justin being like, I love you guys, and I'm sorry, I'll fight, and God gives toughest battles to soldiers and all this stuff. And, it didn't sound good to me. So I'm not going to count on him. And the Cubs should not either. And the rumors are flying. Who are we going to get? All these different. Tyler Anderson I think that was one of the names that was bandied about. You got the Peralta news that the Mets might be selling. And maybe a team like the Rangers. Sandy Alcantara came back up because the Marlins aren't going to do anything. So, maybe a package can be made. And all these people are like, I'd be so mad if they traded this guy from Tennessee or this guy from Iowa or this guy from Myrtle Beach. I mean, listen, you guys, this is a really good Cubs team. We've had a lot of unfortunate injuries that have set us back considerably in the starting rotation. And we played well anyway, and in the bullpen. The pitching has been just very injured. We have a team right now that is going to be on this team for the foreseeable future. With the exception of Happ and Suzuki, which we don't know what they're going to do with those guys at the end of the year, like what kind of contract either the Cubs would furnish towards them or another team because they're just free agents, but the whole infield is going to be here. Bush is under control. Nico, they just signed. Dansby's here till 2029 or through 2029. One of those. Either way, that's a while from now. And then same thing with Bregman, who they just signed. So this is, and the catcher Miguel Amaya, and I guess Carson Kelly, forget what his contract is. Does he have another year, maybe? I don't know. But either way, you're not going to trade catcher anyway. But I'm saying anybody that plays infield on your team is expendable. And really any of the minor league guys. This is my overall point. Anybody on in the minors, even Jackson Wiggins, all these number one guys that you all the prospect perverts love to freaking hug and hold on to for days, and they want to take them out of their little Star Wars packaging and use them. This is what good teams do. They use their prospects. Some of them, hopefully you do both. You keep some and you keep the good ones and you trade the ones that are going to be a bust, all right, if you're doing it all correctly. But you've got to trade to get something this year because the team is good. You've got this opportunity. Right now, you're the second best team in baseball, I think, certainly in the National League. You're about to face the first best team in the Braves, and we're going to see, maybe a preview of what's going to happen in the playoffs. But when you get to the playoffs, you don't want to be going there with freaking piggyback starts of Brown and Assad or Colin Ray. Like, aren't these guys better used like middle relief, give you 2 strong innings or, get them the right matchups in the playoffs, like for them to succeed instead of just going in there with this ragtag crew of like bad news bears? You've got to do something. And, and there's no guarantee it's going to work. You could go get Sandy Alcantara and he blows up, for whatever reason he can't pitch in a Cubs uniform. We've seen this happen. It could happen, but you've got to try. And you got to get it done now. Certainly by the end of the month. I don't think the Cubs are going to be, they're going to play it as long as they can, of course. But if they can get a package where they can trade some of the expendable, Matt Shaw, absolutely valuable off the bench. He doesn't play. He went 0 for 3 yesterday. A good player, a lot of skills, a lot of talent. He's a baller, but I just don't think he's very intelligent. I don't think he's a smart baseball player. This is a team of smart baseball players, and I don't think Matt Shaw is one of them. Get rid of this guy. He's a first-round pick. He's big, dumb, and sweet, and can just knock the ball sometimes. But I don't like him. Get him out of here. Trade him. Or don't. Somebody else. All these names are being bandied about from the minor leagues, and everybody's like, don't do this. And obviously the Mets fans are just, want 9 of our top 10 prospects in order to get rid of Peralta rental. I don't think that's going to work. But that's not going to be the deal. Peralta's just a rental. I don't think those deals are as blockbuster as they once were. The word is out. It's not worth doing, I guess is what I'm saying. You can get a better deal out there, but maybe if you can get somebody a little bit more controllable, that would be in Jed's wheelhouse, because he's always trying to make the perfect move where he's set himself up into, we already know, 2033. They're looking forward to 2033. They've got their little charts. They've thrown them into Jed GPT, and they're figuring out what they're going to do for the next decade. And most importantly, they're figuring out how much money Tom Ricketts is going to make in response to, and where they can keep the payroll based upon how much money Ricketts is drifting off the top for not doing anything. He just goes to the game. So do I. Do I get freaking millions of dollars for doing nothing? No. I've got to freaking come on here and not make any money working, telling you about it for some reason. Well, we got the podcast, Son Ranto Show. We've got the Bleacher Bunch Network, which has a bunch of great shows on it, including Cubs Pod, which I just got done talking about the Cubs on Cubs Pod, but just one game against the Rangers where we got shut out. We didn't score any runs. We haven't scored since Friday night. It's freaking garbage. So I'm not going to say we're going to need the hitting help. I do believe that offensively we can hang with the big boys. I really do think that that when this offense is clicking, it's got the length, it's got the stalwart sort of depth that you need, even off the bench so far. Look at a guy like Conforto. Just this year's Mike Tauchman. It's a summer of Conforto. Somebody make a shirt. So, but the pitching, we all know you need all the pitching. So you go get that now, and then you have it the rest of the year. Does that cost you a little bit more because you had it for a few extra months? Yes, it will. But so what? Who cares? There might be a strike next year. The Cubs prospects, that's what they're for. They're trading chips. That's all that's not all they are. You could keep developing them and bringing them up and trying to get them to, contribute to the team. But we got all these veterans on the team. So if they play infield mostly, and I'm looking at you, Matt Shaw, because you mostly play infield, then goodbye. It's fine. It's fine. We have it all set. Just get the pitching now. because they have the opportunity to beat the Dodgers with a better team. And that's all that matters. You got to beat the Dodgers. Period. End of story.